Students, we continue with the another device or an instrument called as a potentiometer. Potentiometer is an instrument or the device which is used to measure the potential difference or EMF of a cell. The device used or instrument used to measure unknown EMF of a cell or potential difference between two points in any electrical circuit is called as a potentiometer. And the construction, see that potentiometer, what does it consist? It consists of a uniform cross-sectional lengthy wire of a high resistivity and low temperature coefficient. I already mentioned which materials are having that high resistivity and low temperature coefficient. The same materials are used as a resistors or wires for the instrument. Example, constantan, manganese, nichrome. These are all the materials or alloys which are offering more resistance and their temperature coefficient is also less. And this device is constructed, see the construction of the device on a wooden board, a wire either of 1 meter or 4 meter or 10 meter of that such a huge lengthy wire of uniform cross-sectional area of material of constantan, manganese are stretched between two ends on the wooden board from A to B. And on the wooden board, this wire is stretched either of 1 meter, 4 meter or 10 meter. And parallel to that wire there will be scale. There will be meter scale parallel to that stretched wire between the two ends of the wooden board. And at the end A, you can connect in series these components such as a cell, standard cell or a battery, a variable resistance and a plug key in series. And that it includes this battery, variable resistor and plug key in series, and all these are connected to one end of the wire of constantan or manganese which is stretched on a wooden board. Parallel to that there is a meter scale with the help of which we can measure the length. And at the same time, to make use of this instrument, a galvanometer can be connected at the same end A, galvanometer. Other end of galvanometer is connected to a jockey, a metallic contact, just like a metallic pen. You can understand it. I have shown you once during a meter bridge discussion. I will show you one more time. That another end of the galvanometer, because the galvanometer is a device or instrument used to know the existence of the current, which would have two polarities, positive and negative terminals. Or one end of the galvanometer, positive end of the galvanometer, if it is connected to end A of the potentiometer, negative of the galvanometer can be connected to jockey, metallic pen or metallic contact by means of connecting wire or copper wire. This is about construction. What this instrument does, I told you, this instrument is used to measure the unknown EMF or to measure the potential difference between two points in an electrical circuit. And this is nothing but the potentiometer. What it does there, the same will be done by the voltmeter. That's why parallelly I have drawn here one more diagram. Here you can see a huge circle with a V. This is nothing but the voltmeter, which is also instrument or a device used to measure the EMF of a cell, or which is used to measure the potential difference between two points. and potentiometer also is used for the same purpose. Voltmeter is also used for the same purpose, but still there is a difference. What difference is there between a voltmeter and a potentiometer? Potentiometer, when you use this to measure the EMF or potential difference, it does not draw any current from the source. This potentiometer does not draw, it does not take any current from the source, from the battery. It means to make it to operate, no external current is required. That is the advantage of the potentiometer over the voltmeter. Whereas to make this voltmeter to operate, to show you potential difference or EMF, to make it to operate, it consumes some current from the source. If this is the instrument used to measure the EMF of the cell, if that instrument itself consumes some current from the source, means, say how the situation, we are using that instrument to measure the EMF of the cell, and that instrument itself is consuming some amount of current from the cell, then it does not give us a correct value or accurate value. That is the drawback of the voltmeter, because the voltmeter is constructed by using different principle, and potentiometer is constructed by using different principle, and we will discuss later regarding those principles. This principle of construction of voltmeter, we can have a detailed discussion of this principle of construction of voltmeter in next chapter, magnetic effect of electric current. But here we will discuss about principle of construction of a potentiometer. But the difference I made it clear that between potentiometer and voltmeter, both are, even though both are used to measure the potential difference between 2 points and to measure the EMF of the cells, but still there is a difference. Potentiometer does not draw any current from the source of which EMF is to be measured, but voltmeter is not like that. It also is used to measure the EMF of the cell, but it is going to use, or it is going to draw some current from the same cell of which EMF is to be measured. That is the drawback of a voltmeter over the potentiometer, but that is the advantage of a potentiometer over the voltmeter. And here you can see, this is the potentiometer, just like a meter bridge, but there in the meter bridge we have only 1 meter lengthy wire, but here in our laboratory what we have, this potentiometer is of a 4 meter lengthy wire. You can see both the ends are at the same side, A and B. Between A and B, 400 centimeter lengthy wire is stretched like this. This wire I am talking about, this wire is either of Constantan or manganese, because those are the alloys which offer maximum resistance and which are having a less temperature coefficient. See how is that stretched from 0 to 100 centimeter or 1 meter, 101 to 200 centimeter, 201 to 300 centimeter, and 301 to 400 centimeter, like that. See this has got a huge structure which requires a maximum space to locate it. That is the drawback of a potentiometer. Other than that, it will have a greater advantage over the voltmeter. That is about a definition. Principle, here principle used to construct this potentiometer, and we know Ohm's law, V is equal to I into R. Current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference maintained across its ends. V is equal to I into R. V is equal to I R. Here this potentiometer is constructed by using a material like a Constantan or a manganese, whose resistance, if that Constantan or manganese will have a resistivity or specific resistance rho, then that resistance offered by this wire of the potentiometer can be written like this. Resistance is directly proportional to length and inversely proportional to area. R with some constant, R is equal to rho into L by A. Here in place of a resistance, we can write this rho resistivity of this material of the wire of a potentiometer, L divided by A. V is for a constant current and for uniform cross-sectional area of a given material. For a given material, these all remain same. For a known value of a current, when you send it through the potentiometer, constant current, steady current when you make it to flow through the potentiometer wire, and if the wire is of a uniform cross-sectional, if it has the same thickness from end A to the end B, uniform cross-sectional area, then for a given material, whether is that of manganese or a constant, for that material, its a specific resistance, resistivity also remains same. When these all are remain same, constant, then V is proportional to L. Based on this principle, potentiometer is constructed. What is this principle? This principle states that the potential difference or potential drop between 2 points on the wire of the potentiometer is directly proportional to the length or distance between those 2 points, provided if that wire of the potentiometer has a uniform cross-sectional area and when a constant steady current is made to pass through it. When a steady current is passing through a wire of potentiometer of a uniform cross-sectional area, then the potential difference or potential drop between the 2 points on the wire of the potentiometer is directly proportional to the distance between those 2 points, or distance between those 2 points, or length between those 2 points. Suppose in this potentiometer, this wire, if it is of a constant or manganese, for different materials resistivity will be different. Each material will have its own resistivity, rho, and for a given wire, if it is a constant term, its rho will be some value. When you make 1 ampere of current to flow through it steadily, constant current, and the thickness of this wire from end A to end B, if it has a uniform cross-sectional area, it means I, rho and A all are same. When constant current is flowing through the wire of the potentiometer of a uniform cross-sectional area, then the potential drop between 2 points, if I choose 2 points here on this wire, some point here, somewhere at a 22 centimeter, another point at some 62 centimeter, means potential drop or potential difference between these 2 chosen points, one is at 22, other is at 62, that potential difference between these 2 points is directly proportional to the length between those 2 points. One is at 22, chosen point is, and the other is at 62, means the length between them is 40 centimeter. The potential drop between them is directly proportional to the length. Based on this principle, V is proportional to L. Based on this, potentiometer is constructed. If you remove the proportionality sign here, V can be replaced by the equal to, instead of a proportional to, V equal to some constant of proportionality called as a phi into L. How is that defined? Phi, this is defined as phi is equal to V by L. This is nothing but the potential gradient. Potential gradient or potential drop per unit length of a material. Potential drop per unit length. You can compare these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2. On comparing these two, this potential gradient or potential drop phi, which is equal to V by L, which can be measured in terms of volt per meter. Volt per meter, SI unit of potential gradient, When we compare equation 1 and 2, one is based on Ohm's law and the other is principle of potentiometer. V is equal to phi into L, or V is equal to I into rho into L by A. With on comparing these two, here it can be noticed that potential gradient or potential drop per unit length phi is equal to I rho divided by A. V, L, but phi is equal to I into rho divided by A. So this is the principle which is used in the construction of a potentiometer. And this whole entire arrangement of a potentiometer, whatever it does, the same will be done by the voltmeter. I told you the advantage and disadvantage of this potentiometer. Here you can compare this potentiometer with the voltmeter. This entire arrangement can be understood like this voltmeter. At the end, a galvanometer is connected. From this galvanometer, you can have one positive wire and another you can connect it. One at the end A, other between galvanometer, one more negative. How we use voltmeter? In the same way, we can make use of a potentiometer to measure the EMF of the cell. For example, if there is a cell and if you want to measure its EMF, you can connect it directly like this. Positive of the cell, negative of the cell. Positive of the cell can be connected to voltmeter positive by means of a connecting wire, and negative of the cell you can connect it to negative of the voltmeter by using a connecting wire. In the same way, you can make use of potentiometer also to measure the EMF. Here positive of the voltmeter is nothing but the A, negative of the voltmeter is nothing but the here galvanometer. You can make use of what? One terminal of the galvanometer. And as it has got many applications by using which we can measure the EMF and potential difference, there are 3 applications. Let us see one by one. Here, one first application, what I took, comparison of EMFs of 2 cells. We can compare the EMFs of 2 cells. If 2 cells are given to us and if we are asked to compare the ratio of both the cells, EMF 1 and EMF 2. One is of 1.5 volt, other is of 1 volt. In that way, in that case, we can find its ratio. And if one of the EMF is known to us in the given 2 cells, if EMF of the one of the cells is known to us, then obviously EMF of another cell can be found just by using this potentiometer. Here the diagram is comparison of EMFs of 2 cells. A potentiometer device means which includes a stretched wire AB on the wooden board and at the end A, positive terminals of 2 cells are connected. Here these are the 2 cells of EMF E1 and EMF E2, of which comparison has to be done. Here we are asked to compare the EMFs of these 2 cells. These 2 are the given cells. One is of EMF E1 and other is of EMF E2, of which we have to compare the EMF, and positive terminals of those 2 cells of which EMFs have to be compared. Those positive terminals have to be connected to the NDA of the potentiometer. At the same time, NDA is also connected to the positive of the source or standard cell, and it is called as a driving cell. This cell, what it does, it is used to operate the device. This is a source and it acts as a driving cell. It sends some constant current through the potentiometer just to make that potentiometer to operate so that it can help us in measuring the EMF or potential difference. And already we know that potentiometer does not draw any current from this standard cell. Just to make it to operate, this cell is used there. That's why this cell is called as a driving cell, to make it this instrument to on. You can understand in that way. To make it to on or to make it to operate. The potentiometer does not draw any current from this cell. That's why it is called a driving cell. Driving cell. And of these two cells, we are supposed to compare the ratio. And all the positive terminals are connected to NDA. And negative terminals of these two cells of EMF E1 and E2 are connected to two ends of two-way key. This is a two-way key. Two-way key. Two-way key means which has got two ways for the path of the flow of the current. Two-way. Usually plug key will be of only one way. Plug key will be of only one way through which current is supposed to flow. But two-way key has two ways for the flow of a current, which looks like this. Two-way key with three terminals. End 1, end 2, end 3. Here, one cell of EMF E1 can be connected here at 1 and another cell of EMF E2. Negative of the another cell of EMF E2 can be connected to 2. Negative of the EMF first cell of EMF E1 can be connected to 1 and 2, and 3 is a common terminal, which is common for both. If I remove this plug key, by then I can make one of the cell off, and by putting one of the key, I can make one of the cell active there. Here we have that option. If I keep this key, by putting this key, I can make only one of the out of two, one of the cell can be made active. And if I remove here and if I keep here, and by doing so, I can make another cell active and the first one that can be stopped. In that way, two-way key here it is used. And from this common third terminal, the wire is connected to galvanometer positive, and from the negative of the galvanometer to jockey. This is the galvanometer shown already once. Positive of the galvanometer with the help of a connecting wire, you can connect it here. And the negative of the galvanometer by taking one more wire from this negative of the galvanometer to jockey. This is the jockey, metallic contact with which we can slide the potentiometer just like this. How we have done in case of a meter bridge. We are supposed to slide this jockey like this over the wire of the potentiometer. This is about the connection. Now, all these three are connected. Driving cell, variable resistance, plug key are connected in series at the NDA of the potentiometer, and positive terminals of given two cells of which EMFs have to be compared are connected at the same NDA. Negative of the first cell and negative of the second cell of EMFs E1 and E2 are connected to 1 and 2 of two-way key, 1 and 2 terminals of the two-way key, and from the third common terminal of the two-way key, one wire is connected to galvanometer and galvanometer is connected to the jockey. Now, on plugging this key and by closing one of the key here, if I make this close 1 and 3, if I put that key already how I have shown you, I can make one of the cell active. Here if I close this, if I put this key between 1 and 3, only one key, another key is not there. If I keep only one key, by doing that, I can make this cell of EMF E1 active, and here there is no connection, there is no flow of current from the second cell. Current is going to flow from the first cell of EMF E1, and now by adjusting this rheostat, you can make some steady constant current to pass through the wire of the potentiometer, thereby close this key and make a cell, first cell of EMF E1 active, then go on slide the jockey on the wire of the potentiometer. As you go on, slide the jockey on the wire of the potentiometer. This galvanometer will give you a deflection. In galvanometer, 0 is at its center. Both the side of the 0 is graduated with 30 divisions deflection. The needle of the galvanometer will give you some deflection when you are sliding the jockey over the wire of the potentiometer. It has to be continued. Just go on, slide the jockey on the wire of the potentiometer. As you go on, slide at one particular point, here it is shown as a J1. At this point, when you are sliding the jockey on the potentiometer wire, galvanometer starts showing 0 deflection or null deflection. The point at where galvanometer shows 0 deflection, that length is to be taken as a balancing length. That length is a balancing length that has to be measured from the NDA. This is the starting point where the positive of the standard cell is connected. From this we have to measure, because one parallel scale is connected to that wooden board. With the help of that parallel scale, meter scale, you can read the length from NDA to this particular point on the wire of the potentiometer at where galvanometer is showing 0 deflection. This length is called as a balancing length at where galvanometer shows 0 deflection. Now, as this cell of EMF E1, first cell is made active by closing this particular key between a 1 and a 3 in a two-way key. That's why the EMF of the first cell E1 is directly proportional to balancing length L1. It means when galvanometer shows 0 deflection, it is understood the potential difference between this point means where the jockey is kept on the wire of the potentiometer, at this point and at this point. In between these two, there is no potential difference. Both are maintained at the same potential. That's why when you make the 2 points at the same potential, there won't be potential difference. Because of that, current will not flow through the galvanometer. Current will not flow through the galvanometer means it is understood. Potential difference across the cell of EMF E1 is equal to the potential difference between the length A and J1. Because this is the wire of some resistance R, there exists a potential difference. Principle of the potentiometer is same. Potential drop or potential difference between any 2 points on the wire of the potentiometer is directly proportional to the length or distance between those 2 points. Here also, when through galvanometer there is no deflection means, when galvanometer is showing 0 deflection means, it is understood this point, positive of the galvanometer and negative of the galvanometer, at these 2 points there is no potential difference between these 2 points. Potential is maintained same. That's why current through the galvanometer is a 0. Now these two are in parallel. Which two? This cell of EMF E1 and this length of wire of the potentiometer. In parallel combination, voltage remains the same, potential difference remains same. That's why I can compare like this. Potential difference across the cell of EMF E1, first cell, is equal to the potential difference between these 2 points A and J1, that length. Similarly, next what I do in the next step, this can be written like this: E1 is proportional to L1 or equal to potential gradient phi into L1. Question number 1. Now what I do, I remove this key and I close this key, 2 and 3. On removing this key, I keep this key here between 2 and 3. Just by doing so, now I make this cell of EMF E1 inactive, and I can make this cell, second cell of EMF E2 active. How is that done? By closing this key in a two-way key between 2 and 3. Now I stopped current from the first cell. I started current to flow from the second cell of EMF E2. Again, by repeating the procedure, on closing this key between 2 and 3 in a two-way key, I have made that current to flow from the second cell of EMF E2. Again, when you slide the jockey over the wire of the potentiometer, then at one particular point the galvanometer starts showing zero deflection or null deflection, and that balancing length, here I have shown here with the dotted line. No potentiometer will be with the two jockeys, but here two cases I am showing by writing this. One solid line when cell of EMF E1 is active, another is a dotted line, one more balancing line when second cell of EMF E2 is made active. Now this balancing length, when second cell is made active, EMF E2 of a second cell is directly proportional to L2. This balancing length between A and J2, from A to J2. At that point, when galvanometer shows zero deflection again, but now second cell is made active, first is inactive. Current is due to the second cell now. That's why this can be written E2 is equal to 5 into L2. Equation number 2. Now, on comparing equation 1 and 2, it can be written E1 by E2 is equal to 5L1 divided by 5L2, or E1 by E2 equal to L1 by L2. This is how you can compare the EMFs, two EMFs of a given cells by using a potentiometer. Remember that potentiometer does not draw any current from the source or a cell of which EMF is to be used. That's why it does not draw any current. That's why it is used more oftenly to get the accurate voltage or accurate result rather than voltmeter. Or otherwise, both are doing the same job there. Both are used to measure the voltage or potential drop or potential difference or EMF. And two more applications are there. Those we will see in our next session. But here, while comparing the EMFs of two cells, if one of the EMF is not known and the EMF of another cell is known, then even we can find the EMF of unknown cell also just by this ratio. If E2 is known here, E1 is unknown, then we can find E1 value also by using this expression. Two more applications are there. We will see in the next session.